Good morning from this end, depending on where you're watching this video from. As you can see, I'm doing this video from my sweet country, Nigeria. So, in today's video, we'll be doing the registration of the user and the login system of the particular user. This is still the continuation of our e-commerce. Just as I told you, let's say I'm buying this broccoli. I will add it to guides. I will it's saying error. What error? Why? Let me see what the problem is. Let me see what the problem is. Post rates. Why? I'm coming. Let me see what the error is. Yeah, I'm so sorry. This was what really happened. I deleted this post.js. It was deleted. There's a particular file that was there. So I got to remove that one and add my post, as I put my post rather in our model. So now, as I was saying, let's say, let me refresh the page. Let me see. Okay, it's working. Let's say let me just refresh my back end. Let's say I want to buy broccoli bake, and I also want to buy the chicken cheese salad, and I want to buy this macaroni, and I also want to buy one of my favorites, the Sunday chicken. So now, these things will go to the back end. Let's see. It will come here. As you can see, we have 4 items. So as the owner of the restaurant, how do you know who has this order? How would you know? So, because you're going to have so many people, using your application. So how would you know? So what you need to do is to, register the user, so that whenever the user wants to get any item from your application, all you need to do is to go to the user table. Then you will know which user logged in, and once you come here, you will see the user ID. Yes, this is not how this our table will look like. We're going to have the user ID. So that's where we'll do what we call the association. Yes. So the user ID will come here. So anything that any of your user buys, it will show, and the user ID will show. So if you want to compare which user, brought the ID, you now come to your user. As in the table of your user, you see the person that buys the item. But I know you're getting confused right now, but as time goes on, you will see what I'm trying to explain to you. So now let's jump into the registration of our user. So now what we'll do, let me collapse this, and also I'm going to collapse this. So now what I'm going to do is, let me close all these things. I'm going to create a file for these users. So I'm going to come here in this our model. We'll call it user auth. I'll say user auth. The JS. So now I have the user auth.js. All I need to do is just to copy and paste, because there's no need for me to keep typing, because you all know what everything is all about. If you're confused, you can go back to my previous video. And please, if you're just joining us, please kindly subscribe to my channel on YouTube, and also you can share, comments, and like on Facebook. I really want you to share this video, because once you share it, you get to so many people that are looking for a video like this, not especially the e-commerce. So now I have the user auth. What I'm going to do now is I will just copy all these things. I'm going to copy all these things and edit them. Let me copy and let me put it in. So now let me edit all this. What name should we call this? I'll call it user auth. I will also call this user auth. So I'm gonna come here and return it here. So what do we need? We need the username. Username should be string also. The password. Let me use user email. Okay, let's say email, and I'm going to use it as password. So now I have username, email, and password. This is what we're using for now. But I think there are other things we're supposed to put, but let's see how it goes. So now I have this done. Once I save it, I may refresh my I'm gonna go back to our database. Let me refresh it. You see, now we have the ports. If you click on it, you will see we have the username, password, and email. That's fine. We are done with this. So what else do we want to do? Yeah, I will come here just as the way we did it for our postcode, because this is where we are going to write our codes. So I will come here. I will say I want to create a file. Let me call it user authentication. .js. Yes. So now I have my user authentication .js. What else do I need to do? I'm going to come to my index, then I'll do the way we did for the postcode, if you can remember. So all I need to do is just to copy this. I'll copy and then paste it here. Remember, let me call it user. Should I use user? Okay, let me call it user. Remember, our file name is user user authentication. Please, if you spelled it wrongly, you'll get bugged. So please check the spellings very well. Let me see my own user authentication. Okay, I spelled it right. So what I'm going to do now is to use the app. I'll say app dot use. Sorry, app dot use. I think I need to call it use. Should I use reg reg? No. Let's still use the or. Then I'll come here to use the user. So we have our index running. So I'm going to save it, then come back to our user authentication. I think we are going to be doing more of copy and paste because there's no, it doesn't make sense typing. I know people will be saying, please type so that we can see, but you can go back to my previous video where I typed these things. So all I need to do is to copy this these codes. I'm going to put it here. Now, what do? I'm going to change this post to user earth. I'll call it user I hope I'm spelling it right. Let me see, but the spellings are very, 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 very necessary. So let me see if it's spelled well. Let me go out of it. Let's see. User okay, spelled very well. So now let's start our code. First of all, let me export it. I'll say module.export is equals to our router. So now we have our router being exported. So now let's code. I'll say router dot post. And what do I want to post? I want to post the registration. Should I call it? Let me just call it reg. Then, since we are going to be using the SQLize, that means I need an async function. Then I will use the request and response. You can use request, but if you want to short it, you can short it rec and res. So it has a short form of the request and response. So now I have my post reg running. So what do I want to do now? I want to, from the front end, remember the user wants to register his or information. So what the user needs to put, the user needs to put the email, username, and the password. And is equals to rec because we are bringing it from from the front end, we say read the body. So now, I want to make sure that whenever, maybe let's say, as we don't want the user to register 2 times or keep registering whenever the user loses his or her information. So we want we want to restrict the user from registering multiple times, because there's some people, once they misplace their password or the username, all they just need to do is to go back and re-register. But we want to restrict that from this our application. So what I'm going to do, I'll say const, should I say name of user is equals to, remember we have I'll say await, then what do I need to do now? I'll say await user of, remember, dot find one. This is an this is a SQLite function. I love the SQLite, I love using it. So find one where the email, what did we call it here? I think we call it username. Where the username is equals to username. Then we'll do the same thing also for the email, because we don't want the user to register multiple times. So I was saying, let me call it user email is equals to, I'm coming, my TV set is very low, loud. Let me reduce the volume so we'll have a good audio sound. So I'll say that await, then I'll call our user of, then dot, so find one where, sorry, where now we want to use the email. Remember, what did we call it here? We call it the email. So I'm gonna copy it, then put it here, paste it here. Then it's equals to the email coming from our front end. Sorry, I didn't put the email is equals to email. So now we have this. So now we want to restrict these guys. You know, we don't want them to register multiple times. So now that we ask SQLite to find one. So anytime SQLite finds this particular username, it will give an error message to the user that username is, we have username on our database. Please, can you register? I don't know if you understand. No, as in, when SQLite sees that we have username and the person is trying to re-register, SQLite will tell the person that, please, can you log in, because this username is already in our system, or the email is already in our system. So kindly go and log in. So don't worry, you will see what I'm trying to talk about. So now let's say if, let's condition it. I say if there is a name of user, I want you to create an error message, return res the status, and our error status should be 500. I think 500. Yeah, we have 500. Maybe yes, 500 in the error message. We have 500. We have 400, 41. You can Google it to see the error message code. So now I'll say let me use the JSON. Then I will write a message that says username already exists. Username already exists. Now we have the username already exists. So we are saying SQLize. I mean, we are saying, please, the user should go back to our login in because we already have this username. We will do the same thing for the user email. I'll say else if there's email that matches the email that the person is trying to register with, then what do I want to tell this person? I will tell the person the same thing, that email already exists. So now we are good to go. So what do we want to do now is I'll say else then let's create our want to allow our user to create if they passes this the username and the email. That means there's no username of such or there's no email or such, then we want our user to continue. So I'll say away. Then remember we have the auth. Okay, sorry, it's user auth. Sorry. User auth does create. So what do we want to create? We want to create the email is equals to email password is equals to password. Then what else? We have the username is equals to username. So then we are good to go. So let me send it. I'll say res.json. Let's see. Let me call it okay, let's say message is equals to you have successfully registered. So let's see. Let's say if I'm not making username already. Okay, I'll say user email already exists. User email already exists. Please kindly log in. Please log in. Log in. I think my spellings are correct. So now let's save it again and let me refresh page. So we are good to go. Let's use our tester. I have, if you're still confused about this whole thing, please kindly go back to my previous videos. All these things I showed you how to use the tester also. So now, what do we want to test? I want to test this API to see if it's working well. It's going to be a post request and HTTP. Oh, I have something like this before. Okay, let me see what I call these things. Yeah, I think here's my index. Auth. Okay, I called it auth. 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 Then I called this one. No, not this. User R. I call this one red, orange. So now let me write raw the SQLite JSON. So I'll say I'll say, what do we have here from back end? I'll call it, our front end rather. I'll call it, I called it the email is equals to, yeah, I'm going to use my real email in case you want to reach me. You can email me on George Dan email at gmail.com. Then we have the let me see. I think we'll call it let me just go back so that we don't get username. The username I'll call it I'll call my username. Let me just say George. Okay, let me call it George can code. George can code. Okay, this is my username and my password. I won't tell you lie. The password I'm using here is not my real password in any of my social media handles. So no need for you to try it multiple times. Okay, so I will just call it George. So now I have this. So let's see. Let's test it. Send a request. Whoa, you see, it works. That means you have successfully registered. Wow, 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 it works. So now if you come here, it will not come to why? What happened? What happened? What happened? Password, username, password, email. Message you have successfully registered. Why? I don't know why. Okay, let me see. I think it works. It works. I think maybe my SQL, I need to, it works. Maybe I need to refresh it. Maybe it's longer. Okay. Now I got it. Okay. Let me see. I know where the mistake is coming from. Let me see what I use here. No. Is it? Sorry. What am I doing? User auth. It's called user auth. Okay, user auth. This is it. Sorry, let me delete this. Drop table, drop. It's user earth. You see now, we have the George Ken code as okay, my email is georgedanino@gmail.com. Why my username is George Can Code. So now let's see. Let me remove this. I want to see something now. Let's say I already have this email and I want to re-register this email. If I click on send, let's see, you see, it gives a message to say user name already exists, as you can see. So even if I add one to this place as username, it will still tell me my email already exists also. As you can see, you see, your user email already exists. Please kindly log in. So that means we are not allowed to register twice with a particular email or user name. So let's go back to our code where all we need to do now is to give access to our user. Since they've registered, now they don't need to register twice. So whenever they want to use the page, all they need to do is to come here to log in. But mind you, this is not the right way to do it. Like your password, you just have your password shown. Let's say for instance, the database was hacked. The hacker will just go here and use the password and use the email address or use your username to do whatever he or she wants to do. So, but what I'm going to be doing is to encrypt the password, but it will not be on this video because I don't want this video to take time. My last video, the previous video, I spent 2 hours and 20 something minutes, if I'm not mistaken. So I don't want this one to be so long, but at least the previous video, it was wrong because we learned a lot from the previous video. So I don't want to take time. So maybe my next video, I will call it the security to your application. Yes, there I will show you so many things, how to secure your application. Yes. So now we have this. So I want to do the there's still lights. I don't want to change over because I don't have a good battery. So I will say I'm still pleading. If any of you, my students, will say, Uncle George, I want to get you a laptop, I don't mind, I will collect because, I'm helping so much lives. Okay, let's continue. Rather, I'll call it a post request also. Then I think we should call this login. Log in. Then I will use the same function. Okay. Then the requests and the response. So now the user wants to log in from the front end. All the user needs is the username and just the password. So this is coming from the backend. So now let's say the user wants to Maybe the user puts a wrong username. Let's do it the way we did for our register. So let's say the user puts the wrong username. So let me still use the same thing. Yes, we have the username. Okay, still the same. So I'll call this one user password. Then I remember it's called the password. Let me be very sure of the spellings. Password. I'll call this the password. So now I have this already. So now I want to do the same thing. I want to, I don't want the, whenever the user puts a wrong information, I want to bring a statement that will tell the user that the, what's it called? The username does not exist on our database. Yes. So I will come here to say if we are still going to do like the same thing, if name of user, no, let's say if there is no name of user, if there is no name of user, what do we want to do? I will still copy this error status. I'll put it here. I'll say user doesn't exist. Let me call it username does not exist. So our user, whenever they put the wrong username, it will tell us, it will tell them username does not exist. And let's do the password. Else if we'll say the password does not match. If there is no user password, I will copy also the same thing. I think I'll just give the message that password does not match. User password does not match. Please kindly click on the forget password to retrieve your password. Yes, I think this is okay. So now all we got to do now is to allow once the user passes the error, all we want now is to allow the user to have access to our application. So I'll say else allow the user to. So all I just need to do is to say res dot JSON. What do I need to do now? I should just call it I should just use a message. Let me say message is equals to what message should we use here? Should we say welcome or log in successfully. Log in success. Let's use CBSS. Login success. I think I spelled this my successfully well, but the spelling don't really matter. You can put whatever you want there. So now let's see. Save. So I don't think I will go further than this because I've taught you how to use the front end, how to send a request. All you just need to do is to copy the same address, then use it in your, but I will do it though, but not in this video, but you can also do it yourself. So now let me copy this address. Oh, you see, it will give me error because I didn't put the slash here. Let me save again. Well, we have our login running. Let me copy it. Okay, we don't need this email anymore. I remove it. Okay, so now let me see our, okay, just George can code. Okay, let's say now George can code. You see, it will tell us now that because we don't have this one in our back end, as you can see, there's no one in the back end. So we are going to have the message called, let's see. You see, username does not exist. That means we don't have this username on our backend. Let's say, okay, we have the real username, but the wrong password. Let me see. You see, it's saying your password does not match. Please kindly click on the forget password to retrieve your password. That's fine. Now let's log in the real deal. You see, log in successfully. Wow, this is for the registration and the login tutorial. And in our next video, we'll do the security aspects. I'll show you so many things you need to know. But for this video, I'm going to end it here. I don't want it to be too long. So please, if you're watching me for the first time, please and please and please and please and please kindly share, like, and comment. I'm really doing a great work because I normally take my time. It's not that I can't be doing videos every day, but sometimes I'm always discouraged when saying my view, it's very, very low. And I think it's because you guys are not sharing it so other people can see. So please share, like, if you're on YouTube, kindly subscribe to my channel. These are the ways I can monetize my, my page. All right, we'll see in our next video. Bye-bye.